like that.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that do we have a second on yours?
I didn't make a motion.
It
was just a
Oh,
recommendation.
A recommendation, okay. I'd like to make a motion that upon retirement, Midas gets to stay with the Dennis family.
I second that.
Motion second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes. Okay? Alright. I need council approval to put my signature on, closing a grant for the airport, which included T hangars, taxi lanes, apron rehab, and seal coat, which was completed back in 2012.
Motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. We're going into new business.
Mayor, I thought this was new business. This is new business. I have a thank you note. This is to, this new business.
What is it?
A thank you note from money that,
Okay. Go for it.
it's just someone asked me to bring this, which it'll be obviously did when I decided, but, dear Mayor Crafton and City Council members, thank you for your continued support of the Fall into Arts Festival. Your continued support helped make this year's festival another success. Thank you again, very truly, yours, Steve Sokoloff, President of Crafton. So, anyway, they did have a good turnout, and good, I'll pass this down to Crystal.
All right, thank you. All right, move on in unfinished business. Walking trail bids, I guess we get.
The walking trail, we tentatively scheduled the middle of next week for a pre-bid conference to meet with a contractor to start on the sidewalks. He'll have approximately 10 days to start after that. He's got his bid, the bond paperwork in, the engineer going over that and clearing it with MoDOT. So we're looking at when everybody can get together next week to do the pre-bid, and then we'll be starting on that. So,
Okay. Any summer mowing, we're gonna, just come in spring, early spring, we're gonna bid out mowing crew. Is that what the plan is still in place?
I would like to possibly visit with you and the strict committee on that at some point in time.
We got plenty of time.
I've got another possible option on that.
Wonderful. We'll do that, we'll set the meeting. Coach, that works, I guess you will. All right, for report, I have, in your packet, you have Murma, the visit from Murma. As you all know, we pay a lot of money, Murma, budget year. $65,000, $70,000 come out of budget just to pay Murma extra. Or $130,000. The recommendations in the packet, most of them was going to be with the park board, and then we'll be taking this up and fixing the recommendations. But there are some items that we do need to resolve. Fire station 2, mold in the ceiling tile needs to be removed and source of moisture corrected. Southwest corner of the building's foundation is failing. You should contact construction engineer or local building contractor to determine a way to remedy the problem. As we all know, we discussed this back a year and a half ago, 2 years. I think it's time we start making some action, get us some price figuring. You know, whether it's just putting up a metal building with a nice facade to adequately house the fire, fire trucks and equipment that they may have, and living quarters. But we've got to have your all's approval. We probably need to sit on a public safety committee, let you all come up with how many bays you want, what kind of spec sheet we're gonna have to advertise for. We got to start somewhere, getting the prices.
You know, and another option is we could do it in 2 phases. You do your bays and we live in the trailer, and in the next budget year or two, you do the living quarters. With a metal building, it's easy to add on to.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's another option, and that's what I've been kinda looking at, is start, talk to one or two people local, and some of these other people that do these, steel strand type buildings, to see what they can do.
Yeah, but, Public Safety Committee, need you to address that, come up with that, and have a conversation with the chief.
Being on the building, the chairman of the building committee, can I be involved with
Please,
this?
please. Well, both of you committees meet together and fix it
You're
for you.
always welcome, Nick.
Animal shelter, electric wiring run out of the building, needs to be, chief, you can get that addressed for us, that'd be good. Museum,
I think that may have been taken care of.
Yeah, I think,
I contacted Mr. James Waynick.
you already got it?
yeah.
Just make sure it's done and checked off the list. Museum, building committee, we need a stairway that is ADA accessible. Police department, this is where the council's gonna need to come in. Review the use of force policy with the department, focus reviewing, use appropriate level of force to escalate, de-escalate the level of force that's directed by the situation. Create a test for the department to take once the review is completed, that demonstrate that information was retained. Review with the department that used profanity in professional, it should be discontinued. I guess this, well, we can discuss that later, but
Is that, are you looking at the December the 23rd listing?
I don't know what day. It's
Mine has-
September 29th.
That-
Yeah, that's the one that I have.
Okay, but that doesn't have all that stuff he's saying in it.
Gotta be attached with those.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm just bringing this to the council because it has to be addressed, because we gotta get this bill down, this payment down.
Okay, I just didn't see these attachments, I just saw the letter that laid all that stuff out.
But, also the police conduct a security assessment of the police station, implement controls, to protect the front desk, police department, and other city offices. Which I think that's, I don't know what else they were needing, but
I talked to Jeff Art, he was here for something around the, Delta Fair Parade, and he talked to me that time about coming in the next couple of weeks, doing a kind of an audit now to let us know what we're on track with. So he should be coming in, and just department heads, he'll wanna see their stuff, and he could pretty well give us some heads up on what we're lacking, what we need before
good.
the actual audit happens.
The one thing we do need to address, I feel is important too, is implement a cell phone use policy for all city departments and have it incorporate the city's personnel manual. And enforced. Is there not anything, there's some wording on cell phone usage,
We have a policy on it.
we just gotta enforce it.
Yeah, there's a policy on cell phone usage.
We gotta make sure department heads were enforcing that policy. Obviously, they witnessed this or something's came up to where. PD, police officers should not be allowed to drive police cars home if they live outside the city limits.
We'll take care of it. Yeah, we
Our current policy is township.
He talked to us, after that was done, we talked about it, and he didn't have a real problem with it. He just, I think it was the long distance commuting, because I kind of explained to him that if you call several officers, all of a sudden to come in like a bank robbery, they're liable to be on these outer fringes coming in and come across the fleeing vehicle, as well as someone that all lives central. So I told him that the city is about 90% of the township out there, really by land, probably 75 to 90% of it.
But usually the rest of them, the police departments, primary, so public safety, you need to really review this and make sure we're getting the recommendations to their liking. As far as that, that's the main report I want to present, to make sure we get the costs under control. Move on into committee reports. We have a committee report.
Yes, Public Safety Committee met tonight, and we have basically, I think, 3 recommendations left. We discussed the new drug dog, and we've got that taken care of. But we wanted to recommend to the council that we accept the bid. It's a bid of $737,882 total for the new fire truck. I mean, if there's questions, John can tell you more about it, but we do have the bid, and this is what we, would like to, recommend that we accept.
It's basically a 95% federal government, 5% city in the bid. It come in under the $750,000 that we were allowed, and it does have a lot of options on it. It's not just gonna be a bare bones truck, it'll be a truck that'll serve the city well for the next, hopefully 24 years or more like the one we have now. And we've tried to meet every intent of what the grant guidelines call for. There's a performance bond in there. There's also a statement of deduction if they don't deliver the truck in 270 days, or the $100 a day deduction. A lot of this come about from, in the past, there was a major manufacturer that built it up, and a lot of grant holders had written contracts with them with no performance bond and no production day assessment, and so it hurt them in the end. So this is a major company. We bought 3 apparatus from them. We sent notices out to 3 companies and got 1 email back that they wasn't going to bid at that time, and that the other one didn't respond. So we did good faith in trying to get 3 bids.
Okay. Is there a motion to do this? You have a motion for it?
Motion?
Approve the purchase. We have a second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, we also just wanted to notify, we've been discussing the demolishing the derelict buildings around town. We've identified approximately 18 buildings that we plan to have a public hearing on. The tentative date is November the 9th. All the property holders will be notified, and we'll have hearings all day on the properties regarding demolishing the properties. So that, like I said, it's tentatively scheduled for November the 9th. The other thing we did discuss, John Mott's gonna pass out, or he may have already passed it out. I don't know.
I have.
We did,
I'm
we
sorry,
did a
Ms.
policy.
Dunkel,
I'm sorry.
that was November 6th.
Oh, sorry.
The 9th is on Sunday.
Unless you want to come Sunday.
Sorry, okay, sorry, November 6th. We need a policy change to be able to withhold the AFLAC insurance premium from the employee's paycheck, because now our policy does not permit us to withhold any other except city-sponsored insurance, so we need policy change, so you
No,
pass that out.
the one that I passed out was on the relatives and
Okay.
same relatives in the service.
But we do need a policy change to be able to,
Yeah,
withhold the
there's
AFLAC.
2 proposals on policy change. I've talked to finance committee and have talked to the
Okay, yeah, so then.
city attorney. And he recommends that you discuss it now, and actually it'll be voted on at the next council meeting. Currently, and I'll hit on, since you talked about the AFLAC, the benefits committee, or insurance committee, with Human Resource Committee, they had gotten AFLAC to come in. A lot of employees took advantage of it. They understand it's gonna be a payroll deduction, but we have a policy that we need to do an amendment to. City attorney advised that the amendment, that any approvals on deduction should go through probably the finance committee.
And it's our recommendation that the personnel policy be changed to allow for this type of payroll deduction.
So it'll be, you need to just think about it, the next council meeting be on the agenda to vote for it. Second thing is,
A change in the employee handbook to update the relatives in the city service part. I think we did get a copy of that, so we may want to discuss that tonight and have it ready for a vote, not tonight. One of the things that we had talked about was taking out the, what is it, on the fifth line where it says 2 members, just take out the 2 and just say members of the same family. May be employed full-time within the same department, but then it sets out under what conditions.
And this is just something for you all to consider. No action will be taken at this meeting.
Is that it, Ms. Buffalo?
I believe so. Is there anything else?
We need to have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the contract for the fire truck bid.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Who has the paperwork? Okay. Anything else, Ms. Buffalo?
No, sir, I don't believe so.
Okay. Any other committee reports?
Street committee,
Okay.
we met, we have a request for permission to apply for a MoDOT grant. This is the transportation alternative for 2014. This is a 80-20 grant. The city is responsible for 20% of the grant total. Reimbursable, which means the city will pay for the bills up front, 80% will be reimbursed at the end of the MoDOT. This is a grant for $400,000. The city is responsible for $80,000 at the end of it. Grants due the first part of November 2014, which we really need to get approval now so they can start working on paperwork if we agree to do this grant.
What's the grant for?
It's a transportation alternatives grant. Randy probably more.
Be very similar to what we're doing now. It's a hiking, biking, sidewalk deal, and this year we're basically looking at sidewalks. You know, it's a change, government change in the name, but it's basically doing the same thing. The 400 is the maximum that we can apply for. 50,000 is the least amount. Don't have an exact figure because I didn't want to spend 40 or 50 hours on it if the council wasn't in favor of proceeding on with the grant and matching, making the matching funds. A rough estimate I gave the committee last night was somewhere probably 320 to 340,000 is what we've got pretty well booked in for new sidewalks. And then I was looking at getting with City Light, Gas and Water with your all's permission and seeing about trying to put a few lights along the trail that probably not gonna get it put in until spring, but that money would come out of this grant to do the lighting too.
So the maximum the city would have to be, the 20% maximum would be $80,000. Is there a motion to approve this grant?
Motion.
We have a motion, second, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And I'm assuming this transportation tax would be funded
Yes.
this
Mhm.
80%,
Yes.
20%?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll put it in November, we'll know sometime in January, if we're successful in getting the grant. The engineering cost would be coming out in 2015 would be all, and the construction would be due in 2016. I mean, it's very similar, it's following, tracking of what we're dealing with now.
Okay. All right, anything else?
Yes, we had a quote from Nick Kelly Company, to replace 280 feet of storm drain pipe on First Street from Frisco to Depot. This included install the pipe and backfill with Chad. The cost would be $7,400. We would like for this money to come out of capital improvement sales tax.
This is.
We've discussed this in previous meetings before.
Right, this is the, along in front of Radio Shack and Kent Sexton's old building and on down to Edie's Robinson Lumber Company. That line has collapsed under the sidewalk. I've talked to you several times about the need to do that replacement. We have to do it as a separate contract. We can't involve MoDOT contract. This is the Nick Kelly Company will be doing the sidewalk. We can't involve, we gotta have two separate contracts to do this. But they will come in and excavate it, put the pipe in, backfill it, prep it to do the sidewalk over the top of that, while they're here doing the sidewalks.
Is there a motion to approve this $7,400 expenditure?
Motion.
We have a motion, second.
Second.
Second, discussion.
So we're taking this money out of the what, out of the capital
180 feet.
improvement, what are we taking
Capital
money
improvement,
in?
We're only $74.
So maybe we're not taking it out of transportation, or?
It's really not part of transportation. It's stormwater, it's a stormwater pipe.
Chris. Mr. Drake. Hey, you have a minute before you leave out? Any other questions or discussions?
Well, I mean, is that a real number, $7,400 for 280 feet?
It's cheap. Sometimes they go and improve and go.
Now, is that for taking up the old, put down the new and?
And filling the trench in with chat, yes.
No, that's not the sidewalk, right?
No, that's not the sidewalk will be
Right.
as part of the transportation grant, and like I said, we're dealing with
I would further go, well, we got a motion on the floor, let's make sure we get the motion cleared first. Any other questions on the motion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Would it be any opposition from the council to see if Mr. Carter can talk to this company about Third Street? And at Third Street, we're getting a lot of trouble.
Yes.
Can we get a price on Third Street from the same company? If they're, this is really a good price, I feel like.
Isn't it there at the corner by the park?
No,
Street?
Third Street starts right, the problem really
City Light
starts
Water
right
is
at
Going east.
Anthony, right across from City Light Gas and Water office,
Oh, yeah, okay.
and runs east. I was gonna mention it in my report, but I'll go ahead and throw it out now. We've got a problem at Third and Randall right now that had the street collapse last week, and, in there, it's actually a different WPA line. It's right where they come together. It's about 10 feet before the one that's giving us all the trouble, but, I showed the committee last night, the pictures are difficult to see, but the concrete's just deteriorating at the bottom.
And a couple months ago, did we have the same problem a couple blocks?
It's been every year.
Yeah.
Since I've been
Yeah.
part of this, every year Third Street's a problem. They're in opposition to allow Mr. Carter to do that for us. Okay, would you care to take care of that?
You know, when they get here, we'll start proceeding with that. I mean, to check into it, so, thank you.
Anything else?
Yes, we had a state bid from Bill Hayes Ford, this was a budgeted item for our new truck for the street department. We budgeted $35,000, the state bid was $25,503.92. This for the new, 2015 F-250. Along with the accessories and everything on it, it'll run about $29,003.92 with truck and accessories that Mr. Carter needs, such as lights, 15-foot markings. We're asking to go ahead and go through with that tonight if we can. This finance committee says we have enough.
Budgeted.
Budgeted, and we have the money.
Kristen?
Would you like to, do you want to add capital improvements, or, because that's,
I think that's where it's supposed to come from.
That's capital improvement.
Yeah, capital improvements.
uh,
So will we have enough for that and for the $7,400?
There's a bunch of them.
Okay.
well, sales tax, not capital improvement fund, the capital improvement sales.
It's just sales tax.
Well, yeah, you can get the truck benefits from there.
Yeah, that's for
Sales
capital improvement
tax.
sales tax.
Yeah, we got the money.
And we get well over that amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much do we have in capital improvement?
Sales
Sales
tax?
tax, 700 something.
Come on.
700 and something. I can go get you an exact.
Oh.
We got enough for the truck and the repair.
Yeah.
Well, I know we keep getting into it all the time. And I just wondered how, holding up.
Ask for another report to be generated, but we're not only spending money right now, we're committing down the road, and I think we need to start generating a report that tells us what's committed, not just what we're spending, but it's coming up. We had a pretty good number there a while ago.
Kind of like the tourism
Tree
tax.
trimming, $170,000 a year, that's a commitment. 20% grant a while ago, that's a commitment. So we need to start getting these numbers on paper so that we're saying, talk about, well, we got the money in the bank, but how much of it's actually not committed.
I agree. I agree with that.
The 20% commitment, that would be in 2016.
2016.
That's transportation tax. But again, we need to know what we're committing. All tax bills.
Whatever account it's coming out of, we just need to know what.
I would say this though, I won't say another word I won't say a word about this. As long as you, I'm looking at all of you all, by the way, can get darn equipment and trucks lettered up. I'm proud to have Kennett the equipment we're getting. Let's let everything else our citizens know that's happening. That's police cars, everything. I've asked that many months now. I would ask that this gets done though quicker than what it's been getting done.
We do one, then.
Lettering up our equipment. We have many trucks out here, you look across the street in the parking lot, there's not a letter on any of the equipment that we own, that we bought for, for our citizens. I think it'd be wise of us to just put nothing else to City of Kennett. Whatever department, I don't care what they put on it, once it says City of Kennett. I'm proud of the equipment that we're getting for our citizens, and I'd like to know that, brag about it.
I agree with that. On the other hand, I question whether or not we need so much, or as a elaborate decoration and whatever that we put on some of our police and fire vehicles.
Far as I'm concerned, as long as that's City of Kennett somewhere bold on there, that citizens can see. But I would ask that that gets done, working on what's been.
Is it budgeted is it in their budgets to do that, do you think?
Mm-hmm.
It is in their budget?
They bought the equipment, need to be branded, I feel like.
But I mean, is the money in the budget?
No more than what those things cost decals. If you do it yourself, it's not that much money. I can decal one of my trucks for $100. That's a lot of decals on it. I don't know what the prices are here, but that's what I pay. Just simple words, City of Kennett. Police department, fire department, street department. I don't care what they wanna do after that, that's between you all, but I just want to ask them, I ask that they get branded, please. Is there a motion, we do have a motion for the state bid for 25,000, well,
One comment for you, that does not include the unmarked police cars, right?
unless they're undercover, there's too many police cars that's not marked up, and
I'm not talking about the whole fleet, I'm just talking about the cars that they use undercover work or they're unmarked for a reason.
I was told there's 2 cars that's unmarked for a reason. The rest of them, there's a lot out there that's,
Oh, you're right on target,
That's not marked
I'm just saying there are some exceptions that,
there are some exceptions, but Chief right here, he's got his trucks marked all over the place, and he's the fire chief. I feel like that should be done for all the vehicles for the city, that's not absolute undercover vehicle.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Johnny, how many vehicles do you have that doesn't have decal?
Got 1, 2, and those cars will probably be gone another year or so. Then you got one that I drive and one that Tim drives, and we can't mark those up. And one Johnny Higgins drives, and he can't mark that one up.
You had some advantages to keeping them unmarked.
Huh?
You had some advantages to keep them unmarked for obvious reasons. I mean, do we want to keep them?
Yes, you know that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I love to know why, because I was only told there's 2 vehicles that do not need to get marked up, everything else is fair game. So unless
You're
someone
saying
tells me.
3.
But there's 4 I know of. There's a black Chevrolet, there's a white Crown Vic, there's his vehicle, there's a white vehicle, Dodge, there's a Yukon. I can count 5 without even thinking.
That's Tim's Yukon.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm just
That
counting
can't be
5.
marked. That can't be marked up, and mine can't, and John Higgins' can't. The white one. If you can mark the 2 Fords up, but probably in a year we're getting rid of those anyway.
And there's a black car I saw here today.
Well,
That's an Impala or whatever brand it is.
That's yours, isn't it?
No,
No.
not that one.
We'll get something done.
Please,
I've
that's
got-
all I ask.
Already got the pricings on the ones for the fire.
If you couldn't do it, then tell me. But no one's told me, they said, yes, sir, we'll get it done, and it's not done. That's all I ask. Now, I get off my little soapbox, and we'll get back to this motion. $29,003.92 is what this truck is priced at. Has there been a motion on this?
Motion.
Second.
second.
Discussion.
We were discussing.
We have discussed. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Thank you. We will move, well, you still got the floor.
I got more. We got a quote from United Rentals for a 2010 Tollmaster T10 tilt trailer for $5,725. This was a budgeted item, we budgeted $6,000 for it, it's $275 on the budget. Anyway, we're asking for council approval before we go through this purchase. Mr. Carter needs to try to haul it.
I'll get you a brand new one cheaper. You want it?
Let's do it.
Okay. You can prove up to that amount, I think you can get it cheaper.